Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabeena Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters who are listening, we're here for a few moments between Asr and Maghrib. And we're here to say something and listen to something that will make the benefit of our akhirah come true. My brothers, my sisters, the life of this world that we've got is a very limited life. And Allah Azza wa Jal, when we came to the earth, He has already written down very clearly in our mother's womb the date of our death. That has been clearly written. There is no man that has come to this earth, no woman that has come to this earth, that has left this earth by taking away something from this earth. Nobody. We've come to this earth, we've gone from this earth, we came equal, we go equal. In between we have differences. In between Allah gives one man, Allah will give him one youngster, Allah will put him in a rich family. Some other youngster, He's given him some parents that are very kind to him. Some other person, Allah has given them a very luxurious life. Another person, Allah has given them ability to have a lot of strength, a lot of physical strength. Some other person, Allah has given them beauty. Some other person, Allah has given them wealth. Some other person, Allah has given them a lot of contacts, a lot of friends. Allah has given them the skill of making friends. See, all these different things Allah Azza wa Jalla has distributed amongst us. So in between in between our birth and death, we are different in that sense. One man is more wealthier than me. Another man is more poorer than me. One woman might have more beauty than another woman. Another woman might have less beauty than her, or less wealth than her, less gold than her, more of a better husband than the other one. That's all it is. But when we come to our death, me and every single one of us here, all the men who I'm facing, eventually all of us have to go that way. When I go to the grave, I can't go to the grave by, in style. No one goes to the grave in style. No one sort of makes their will and says, okay, when I'm dying, make sure you put a bed down there for me. Make sure you put a mattress there for me. Make sure I'm comfortable. Give me some extra quilts. You ain't moving, brother. You're not going to even be moving your hands and feet. I can't request and I can't make, even the janazah cloth that I've got. I can't make a will and say, see, when I die, you guys are going to bury me and you're going to use the janazah cloth. Put some next level, janazah cloth that's got some design to it. I want something like D&K or something. I want something that's got some nice embroidery inside there. You can't do that. Even if you did, it looked foolish. What are you doing? You're going to be going, I'm going to be going with the same 3 pieces of cloth. There's no stitches in there. There's no design in there. There's no embroidery in there. There's nothing. You can't even, like the way today, some of you might get up in the morning. I might get up in the morning. You might get up and start saying, well, let me comb my hair this way and let me comb my hair that way. Forget that, brother. You've got a dead face. I'm going to have a dead face. The hair on my head is going to start before death. Maybe I might have lost hair. I might become bald before I die. But the fact is, even if I had hair on my head, the people giving me a ghusl, they're just going to wash my hair just with a bit of kafur, bit of scent, and that's it. They just put me inside the grave without me having any hairstyle. They put me inside the grave without giving me putting any shampoo on my hair, on my head, or putting any body wash on my body. There's none of that. We just go the way we came, which is with nothing. Only 3 pieces of cloth. And that day is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Nobody is in denial of the day. But what happens is people are in denial it's gonna happen today. Nobody's in denial that it's going to happen one day. But people are in denial it's going to happen today. I can guarantee none of us came to this masjid today thinking we're going to die. Is there anyone who came to this masjid thinking that you're going to die? No, you didn't. But we know, ilm, see, the knowledge says that you could die any moment. Yes? You agree with me? But the belief is that I'm not going to die today. The knowledge says I could die tomorrow, but the belief is I'm not dying tomorrow. I'm living tomorrow's whole day. And I'm living next week, and I'm living the full month and full year. And I'm going to live the next good few years. Every person has these two things. One is the knowledge, the fact that they can die any moment. We've all got that. But the other thing is that the actual belief of when we're going to die, that is way away from where you are right now, unless you've got a serious illness. If you're struck with cancer and the doctors have told you you've got 4 months to live or something, then people normally put a 4-month date in their head. Then the belief comes in, it strikes them. And you see the changes there. You know, young brothers, 23 years old, 24 years old, this is happening again and again. Young brothers, fit to play football every single week. All of a sudden, they get some kind of stomach pain or something, you know, hurting them inside the chest. They go to the doctors and they're told that they've got a few, months, maybe 3-4 months to live. And you see the change in those brothers. You see the change. The change is guaranteed they're going to be losing 2 to 3 stones of weight in those 3-4 months. They're not going to eat properly. They're not going to sleep properly because someone's told them that their time is up. Whether they actually die in 3-4 months' time or whether they don't die in 3-4 months' time, somebody's told them because of the cancerous situation inside them that they got limited time left on their hands. And you see the difference. Their cheeks become hollow. They become so frail and so depressed. I've seen these young brothers. I've visited them. It could happen to anybody. It doesn't have to be young. It could be a 30-year-old. It could be a 40-year-old. It could be a 50-year-old. This cancer or anything else, it doesn't even have to be cancer. It could be anything. But when the belief kicks in, the person has the whole mindset, everything has changed. My brothers, my sisters that are listening, the only time we're going to get serious with the akhirah is that you've got to move that gap of the belief when I believe I might die and when I think I'm going to die. I need to bring the date so close that it comes right together. That the belief of when I might actually die and the knowledge of when I could die, both of them are together. That's when the mu'min or the believer really changes his life and becomes something else. Why? Because you're always walking with the worry of death. What's the worry of death? Well, the first worry is when the angel of death comes to me, have I prepared enough for my real life? This life, my brothers, is very, very temporary. In fact, I will tell you one thing. I can guarantee, I've done these stats before, but let me just ask, anyone here sitting here who's maybe 25 years or above? 25 years or above. Can you put your hands up, please? Okay, now out of you lot, there's a good 20 of you, 30 of you here. Out of you lot, who's still friends with their college friends? Put your hands up. The friends you had in college, you're still friends with them. Look, 2 out of 20. Who's still friends with the university friends? Put your hands up. Out of you lot. Alright, I have one person. Who's friends with those who you went to maktab or went to madrasa with in the masjid? Who's still friends with some of those? Put your hands up. One person. Who's friends with somebody that you went to secondary school with? Put your hands up. So we have a few more hands because you're living in the same society most likely. You're never going to migrate from this area, are you? You're not going to move out. Unless you go to Redbridge, right? Is that the next flight? Yeah? Is that, am I right? Ilford, Redbridge, that way? Anyway. The next thing is, look, most of you are not connected with those people. Why? I'm telling you, when the friends that you have today, those friends, you're not going to be with them for more than 4 to 5 years. That's it. You change friends. And those new friends have an influence on you. When you're going to college, you have a set of friends. When you go to uni, you have a different set of friends. When you leave uni, you have a different set of friends. When your wife marries you, then you forget everybody. Yeah, because you got a proper friend now. And when she starts giving you Jummah khutbahs all week, then you start knowing your other friends again. You know? So it works the other way around, takes you the other way. Right? Then you start rediscovering the friends that you missed for the last few years when you were on your honeymoon period. But the thing is, you're always shifting, you're changing. When you get into your 30s, you settle in a certain way. When you get to your 40s, you settle in a different way. And anyone here says that, you know that Uncle G, I'm never going to become like Uncle G, you're having a laugh. Because your brain, as it develops and as your body develops, you become like all 30-year-olds, you become like all 40-year-olds. You're not going to be messing around and mucking around when you're at 40. You can't. You can't do it in your 30s. You've got to feed your family. Even if you say, well, I'm not going to get married, you have to feed yourself. Your mama and papa are not around all life to feed you around. They're not there all life to feed you around. And what happens is when you grow older, you realize you've got bills to pay. You've got to carry your own weight. And when you have to carry your own weight, the biggest thing is, then kids, they wake up. All these days, they thought there were men on the streets. They ran the streets. They either they hanged out, they had girlfriends, or they had drugs, or that they were dealing with, or they had a life outside on the streets. These local streets. They ran these local streets. It was theirs. It was like anyone says anything, they better take my name first. Without taking my name first, they do something. I'll make sure when I grab hold of him, I'm going to make sure that he takes his dad's name first before he does anything. It's like that monstrous attitude that I can do what I want. But the same people, the reason why they do that is because they've got no responsibility. Seriously. They come home every single day after roaming around the streets. They come home and they've got a cooked meal. They've got water whenever they want. They've got water whenever they want. They've got a cooked meal, a few meals perhaps by their mother who's cooking. Regardless of how bad they are, their mother's done it. And they come home, they've got a bed. They come home, they've got a shower, place to take a shower, and they've got a place to go to the toilet. So for them, there's no worries. There's no bills. They're not paying anything towards the mortgage, or they're paying very little. They're not paying anything towards any of the expensive bills. Their clothes are being washed. Their clothes sometimes are being ironed. Some guys are, seriously, they're 25 years old, 26, 27, 28, 30. First it used to be his mum ironing his clothes. Then he used to bully his sister to iron his clothes, or bribe his sister to iron his clothes. And then when Barbie came, Barbie's ironing his clothes. Yeah, some of you are smiling, you know how it works, yeah? Poor woman, she came in, she thought she married one man, she's got a whole family to look after. She has to iron the whole family's clothing. Right? And then the guy just waiting the day he gets married, he's going to get his wife to do it. So he's not, he's careless in the sense that he hasn't got responsibility. But the day it lands on his head, he wakes up. In terms of responsibility. Now this guy, he's not going to be roaming down the streets anymore, brother. The guy's got to get a proper job. When he gets a job, he has to go out there, he has to work like everybody else and come back home with sore feet. And the day he starts doing that, he starts realizing that, life is not just, life on streets. That's not life. And all these guys, they change. All of a sudden they change at 25, 30 or 30 to 35. They've had a massive transformation. And they've gone. See, those friends, gone. Kaput. You haven't got them anymore. And then suddenly you meet them after a few years. So you say, Bala Suni, whatever, Kitawa, Kitawara. Oh, Hoyonadeva. He says, are you alright? Don't tell me anymore, man. Kito, he said. Then he starts bringing a whole list. And all this about complaining about the finances, complain about the children, complain about probably the wife, complain about the housing, complaining about the living conditions, complaining about not getting enough space, complaining about the situation around. It goes on and on. Armat, don't tell me anymore. And they both got the same stuff. Seriously, I thought I was alone on this planet doing this stuff. They start waking up. Now they're not going to be streets, at 40, 35, they're not going to be around these streets laughing and joking because there's seriousness that comes with life. My friend, whatever you've done right now, you're only going to be doing for another 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, that's it. Whatever situation you're in there for a few years, that's it. Your friends will change, life will change. Someone in your family is either going to get born into the family or they're going to pass away. Your mom's going to go one day, she's going to pass away. Your dad's going to pass away one day. Seriously. And most likely they're going to pass away before you, if it goes according to the norm. If it doesn't, then you pass away before them. But when these things happen, dad's gone, the whole house changes. Your mom's going to be on her own. First she'll be crying. She'll be 4 months. She's neither here nor there. Next thing is she's not the same. She don't cook the same. She don't want to sometimes cook. She don't want to look after herself. Sometimes, moms, they think that, what, it'll be better if she goes away from this life. And many moms do this. When the dad passes away, your mom's going to go through a stage of 3-4 years. She don't know where she is. It's like, what's the point of life anymore? And you don't think it's going to happen to you, you better wake up. So your mom who used to always look after you and do everything for you, you know what, she's not the same anymore. Some of them go through depression. Some of them, after a while they might come back out. But you know what, life's changed, the whole household changed. Your dad used to be the one who used to be the backbone of the house. You know what, suddenly you found yourself or your brothers, all your sisters getting together and trying to keep up with what your dad used to do. You never had any appreciation for your dad until that day comes. You don't have no appreciation for your mom until your mom goes. And the day when your mom goes, if anyone here has lost a mother, they will know what a mother is. You have lost today, the day you lose your mother, you've lost the closest human being on this earth to you. There's no other human being closer to you than your mother. You spent 9 months inside her body. 9 months inside her body, you spent that. There can be no closer relationship with your mother. But you know what? Most young kids, you talk to them, they don't even have the appreciation. They don't know what they've got. You've got a diamond in your hand and you don't know what you've got until the day you lose that diamond. On the day you lose that diamond, you know what? You can never bring your mother back to this earth. You can never bring your father back to this earth. But you're always going to hear the voices of your mother and father in your head. And you will cry. And you will think to yourself, hi, if only I had a few more years with my mother. If only I could have sat with her and spent good time with her. You know what, brother? You ain't going to get the chance. But your mom, your dad already, they're on their way out. Most of you youngsters I'm talking to, your mom, your dad, they're on their way out if they haven't gone yet. And it's too late. It's too late to reverse the clock. What are you going to do? You're going to go to a graveyard? You're going to start crying over the graveyard? Well, after a while you won't even do that. But memories will surround you all the time. When they used to call you foot, and they used to call you all those nice things they used to say, my dear son, come on, eat this and that. Even though you've wronged yourself, even though you've brought shame onto them, those things, they will haunt you. Because then suddenly you start seeing yourself with kids that you've given, you become the father of. And now you're worried about your own kids. And you start thinking, the way I was with my parents, I just hope 100% that my kids don't do the same to me. That's going to go through your mind straight away. If you're being a bad boy right now, if you're being a rude boy or a rude girl right now, the first thing that goes through your head after marriages and after you get a baby is that you think, that cute baby, I don't want that cute baby to be spoiled the way I got spoiled. I want the best education, I want the best qualities, I want to make sure that he goes towards, the good practice. I don't want him to have friends like I had, I don't want him to grow up the way I grew up. And you will do your best to try and steer the life of that kid. And I have never met any person with any goodness in their heart that they would want anything other than this. And you know these guys, they grow up now, they think, yalla, you know, yalla, I've got to take to the mosque now, or I've got to at least bring them some education in the Quran, or at least I want a son who respects me. Even if it's not the mosque, even if you say, okay, I'm not going to send my, even if maybe you're a youngster, you're not seeing what I'm saying right now. I'm telling you, brother, it's coming your way. Sister, I'm telling you, it's going to come your way. You're probably thinking, well, at least I want respect from my kid towards myself. But you know what hits you? Is that I never respected my mom and dad. You know what goes round, comes round, brother. What goes round, comes round. And if Allah wants to teach you a lesson, then you know the way you were rude to your mom and dad, don't expect, unless you do serious tawbah, unless you're going to seriously ask Allah for forgiveness, unless you're seriously going to go to your mom and dad today and just make your amends with your mom and dad and say, Mom and Dad, I'm really sorry what I've done, please forgive me from the bottom of your heart. What goes round comes round. If your mom and dad go from the earth by you being a rude boy, rude girl towards them, in any way, maybe you're not foul-mouthed towards them, but maybe you're very disrespectful, you're not listening to them at all. Maybe, you know, every time they tell you something, you say, yeah, you know, inshallah, meaning that, please, get off my back. I've heard enough. Not an inshallah, as in if Allah wills, I'm going to make the change. No, inshallah, because I've heard it. Thank you. Jazakumullah wa akhir da'wan, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And I finish it, end it, let me go now, right? If you don't make amends with them, then seriously, you're heading your own crisis, which is that when you have kids, your first worry is going to be, Ya Allah, what did I do to my mom and dad? And my mom and dad are not here today, but let me try and be a good dad or a good mom. But you know what? If you don't watch out and change yourself now, you're too late to even become a good mom, good dad. A lot of people out there, they went to the masjid when they were young, they forgot how to read the Quran. They forgot the masjid life. They forgot, all their connection was, you know, some old chachas going to the masjid and coming out. That's all they saw. They hang around the streets, you know, every time they saw salat time come, they saw the chachas with the lattis coming. Oh, they're going to the mosque, and the chachas coming out with the lattis again, and a few others that might go. And if it was a youngster that went to the masjid, they said, Sufi buni ke sath dibe, hey, bokhrilan dari rakh dibe. They can take the mick out of them. Youngsters, they do that. They call them, you know, all sorts of names. What's the matter with you, man? What's wrong with you? Well, you got all that hair on your face, man. You don't know what Gillette is? Don't know what Gillette is? Give it a shave, man. You're getting a bit jungly or hairy out there. They say all these words to them. Please, no offense to the sunnah, please. The sunnah is the sunnah. But if you do that, if you take the mick out of the sunnah, and you actually make the mick out of the sunnah, I'm only repeating what people say. I'm not taking the mick out of the sunnah, because the sunnah is the sunnah. You're not supposed to, you know, say anything about the sunnah like that. The reason why I'm saying that to you is because that's what youngsters do, and they don't realize what they're doing. If you actually make mockery out of the sunnah, and you're making mockery out of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or in any way towards that, then you actually lose your faith. I'm only repeating something. People say it doesn't make you a person of that caliber. Like Allah said for us in the Holy Quran, He said, وَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. Fir'aun said, I am the greatest Lord. So you just repeated what Fir'aun said. By you saying that in the Quran, it doesn't become the same as Fir'aun's statement. So anyway, my point is, these people take the mick, because he's a youngster going towards the masjid. And the next thing you know is, these people who are watching these chachas coming out, their whole life was on the streets. They're thinking, well, what about the masjid? That doesn't connect you to the masjid. Or maybe the politics of the masjid made you never come. You know, human beings have politics. My brother, it's not about the masjid and politics. You know, every masjid has politics. Don't get me wrong. Every masjid has politics, but you've got politics in your family as well. Your dad's creating politics every day. Your uncle's creating every day. Your mother's creating every day. Your aunt is creating every day. You're thinking, no, politics in my house, no. Wasn't it, they show zakat? You know the zakat zamin you've got, you know all the land you've got, there's politics going on every day, mate. Your own household, your status, there's politics every day. Hunchoni, shunumaya kita huisi amare, shunumaya faidano lagal. You know, Shunumia, what he said to him, that's politics. The guy's, you know, taking offense. Your dad or your big brother, whoever he was, taking offense, and now he wants to find Shunumia and give him some, you know, make him look like Dunumia or something after he finishes with him. That's politics, brother. you've got on the streets, you're on the streets, yeah? And you've got issues on the streets with your mates. It's politics. You think that's not politics? Who's calm, whose local area is, whose hood, whose hood it is it? They got issues with that. Hey, we're doing on my territory. It's my turf, my territory. What's wrong with you, man? Hey, what's wrong with you? Let's sort him out. He's stepping on our turf. It's just like it's seriously. If you want to do studies of this, yeah, I find it so fascinating. When I look at animal life, the most fascinating thing about it is that there are certain traits in the animal world which only certain traits in the animal world which are found in the human beings, because we are also animals. We're from the animal kingdom, but we've also got the ruh, and we've got a soul inside that makes us different. See, the animal's not going to start talking, but we've got speech. Allah's made us different. He has called us the insan, who has allamahul bayan. We're able to express ourselves. We can talk. Animals can't talk. Maybe they have some communication, that's fine, but they can't converse like us. That's what makes us different from them. However, there's another thing that makes us different, is that we ourselves, by nature, we're going to look for peace. Every human being wants peace of the soul. By nature, it doesn't matter if he's an atheist, doesn't matter what man he's on the earth, he's going to be looking for peace in his heart, meaning to this whole existence around us. That's what makes us different. But what I want to say to you is that when you study the animal world, you start seeing some traits in the human beings. Like what? Like the lions. When the lions are out there in the jungles, every lion, the male lion, he will have a whole area where he will walk on every day. The lion will walk. He'll put his scent on the ground. He'll walk about a radius of about 15 miles. And he comes back to his den. And that scent, another lion, a male lion, when he comes across and he smells that scent of the other lion, it means don't go any further. If he crosses into the scent of another lion, it means he's asking for a fight. He's asking for a fight. So this male lion, every night what he does is he growls. Move away. They growl. Seriously, if you study these lions, they growl. Why do they growl for? Well, they have deep, a sort of voice or a growl that creates a sound that travels his 15 miles or whatever, 7 miles or whatever it is that, or maybe 3-4 miles, whatever it is, the area. It will travel very far. Why? He's telling the other lion in the night time that I'm here. Don't forget. This is my territory. With the day he sees another lion come in his turf, there's war. There is serious war. And the only reason why the other lion will come into his one is because he wants to tell him, Tuini way, hey? Tuini, Torzagani, the deki. Your turf, you think this is yours? Here, let's come and see. So then fight. All the other lionesses and lions and things, they'll stay away. They'll just watch these two fighting. Now if the original lion wins it, he will batter the other lion so bad that lion's not going to come to this turf again for another good few years. But if he loses, then he has to get out of his own turf. And if he gets out of his own turf, the new lion comes, he kills all the cubs. All of them, kills them. And then he mates with the lionesses, and now it becomes his turf. He'll put his scent on it. Animalistic behavior. What do these boys do on the streets? It's like they might have, this is Stepney Green. That's like Cannon Street. So we're the Cannon Street boys. Kai, he thinks the Cannon Street boy. In Bangla they say, Mutorgon Gesena. It's like, he's still, the smell of his urine hasn't gone away from him. He thinks he's a boy. They're men. This is their turf. They guard it, they run it, they do what they want. In the next territory, you got the Cannon Street boys. Then you've got what other ones have you got? One, sorry? You've got the Shadwell boys as well. Yeah? You've got Shadwell boys. Tell me some other ones are near here. So I'm not going to say you're part of the posse, I'm not going to accuse you. What is it? Stepney, and what else? Is that it? Myland boys, Stepney boys, okay, that's it. So you got enough of these territories. So it's like, if you want to go to another one, you better make sure that you have your backing before you go inside there. They're not going to walk alone, some of them, because when they see each other, they know. Like if I walk in there, I've walked through a Stepney, Myland, Cannon Street, this area, they see me, they're not, these boys, they're going to be on the streets, they're going to be laughing, they'll make way for me. Alhamdulillah, brother. Say that, say, Alhamdulillah. You guys don't believe me. I've been past these boys so many times. They'll say salam to me. Alhamdulillah, I say salam back to them. I walk past, they'll make way for me. Alhamdulillah. Why? Because I'm not a lion who's on a turf of another lion. They see me as a peacekeeper. They see me with the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. They think, he must be a nice guy. He's not going to come here and look at us and say, hey, what's wrong with you? You don't see my amama? Gonna knock you out, brother. They know I'm not gonna do that. But they see another guy coming here. This other guy, he just switches them. What switches them? It's like he walks down, he's got the low bati. What do you call it? The low bati, yeah? So he's got the low bati. That's one sign that he's a lion. Yeah. Second one is that he's walking. Alright, that's another sign, yeah? He's got particular hairstyle or whatever it is, yeah, chains or whatever else it might be, yeah? But when he walks like that, it's like, hey, you move, I'm here. And if they don't move, then he's gonna come and barge them one. It's like, the line to line thing. He's gonna barge them one. And if he barges them one, if he's on his own, he's a dead man. There's a whole group of them. But if he barges one of them, then this one that's been barged is going to go and call a few others. And he's going to call a few others. And that's it, his fight. Why? Over what? Over the fact that he's just walking with an attitude. The other one's got an attitude, he's got an attitude. That's all it is. And sometimes these fights can last for months. It starts off with one eye-to-eye contact. Am I speaking the truth or not? Yeah? Sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. Over what? Over the most pettiest thing. What is it? It's when your ego and his ego clash, brother. It's like, he wants me to say sorry. What are you talking about? I don't say sorry. Sorry doesn't exist in my dictionary. He better come. He's going to take forgiveness of me. That's how it is. And the other guy's saying exactly the same thing. And they're fighting over what? Over nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the lion thing. It's like, don't cross my turf. You cross my turf, that's it. You're gonna have a fight. And sometimes what happens is, when the lion, when he's in his area, what he will do is, he will make sure that he's giving a signal to everybody else, that he's the toughest creature. He's the king. He wants to show he's the king. I don't care how many lions out there, but I want to show you that I am the king of the jungle. But there's another one in the jungle of Stepney who's saying the same thing. I'm the king of this jungle. And there's another one in Cannon Street that's saying the same thing. I'm the king. So what happens is, all these lot are fighting to become the king of the whole area. But can any king last? La ilaha illallah. If you watch these documentaries on these lions, what they show you is, after a few years, the lion becomes weak. He himself physically becomes weak. And when he becomes weak, a young lion comes. Sometimes two lions come together. And they have a fight, 2 versus 1. And they batter him. They beat him up so bad that he's probably going to die in a few days. That's how bad they leave him, bloodied on the ground, or running away from them. But what I want to say to you is, brothers, you know what it is? It's what's making you do this? What's making anyone out there do this? You know what? It's the same things I said to you earlier on. It's like he knows he's got comfort in his house. If he had to go and work out there, he would never do this. He knows he's got a bed to sleep free of charge. If he never had that, he probably would. If he was sleeping in the parks or something, he probably wouldn't be doing the same thing. He knows he's got curry on the table every single day. He knows he's got mom and dad looking after him. He knows no matter how bad he is, his mom's going to come and stroke his head and say, he knows he's got that backing. I've told you, son, don't do it. I told you, son, don't do it. He knows he's got the backing. He knows that when he comes out the door, all he's got to worry about is whatever's with him. Anything else, like his clothes, his washing, his eating, his sleeping, anything, shower, he don't worry about anything else. That's what gives him the energy to be who he is out there. You take these things away, what is he? He's just as normal as anyone else. And the attitude that came inside him came for a number of reasons. One of the main reasons why these young boys, or even girls, some girls go through this phase as well. The reason why they go through this attitude is, and all of us have this inside us, is attention seeking. We look for attention, whichever way it is. Either the way you keep your hair, you want attention. The way you dress, you want attention. The logos you wear, you want attention. The trainers you wear, you want attention. The people you hang around with, you want attention. The things you say from your mouth about me, yeah, I got this, man, I did this, man, this and that, attention. The mobile phone you have, you carry around, you want attention. The way that you get respect from everyone else through whichever one is all attention. Every person is looking for attention. Some are looking for attention for the right reasons, but many out there are looking for attention for the wrong reasons. It's all about attention. So what happens is that, how can you become the most popular? Now it's turned to social sites. Facebook, Twitter, and other mediums that they've got attention on those. You know, how many likes can I get? How many people can I get coming to my page, visiting my sort of, you know, my comments that I've made? It's about attention. After a while, my brother, my sister, when you lose the reasons why you're seeking attention, you've got nothing to seek it for. And it's going to happen to all of us. It's going to happen to all of us. Just for a few years. Just for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, you went through this phase, but you've left a history, a mark behind you. You now have to face Allah Azza wa Jal on the Day of Judgment. You have to give account to what you did, because one of the questions on the Day of Judgment is, Allah's going to ask me directly, you directly, when I gave you youth. One of the direct questions before you can move your feet, or I can move my feet on the Day of Judgment, is when you were young. What does young mean? Young means up to the age of 25. So it's more or less like from 12 to 25. That age that I gave you, what did you do with that age? Because that age is one of the strongest ages Allah's given physically. Physically is one of the strongest. The mental age when you have the strongest is at 40. See, most young guys don't know this. They think, right, when they turn 12 and his Adam's apple popped out, yeah, you know, Ali's talking like this, yeah. First he used to say, you know, he used to say, Papa, I love you, you know, Baba, I love you. And suddenly his Adam's apple popped up, Baba, I love you. His Baba says, is everything alright, son? Everything alright? Because he's now thinking that he's a man. He's shot up 1 foot within a year. He's now probably the same or taller than his dad. And now he thinks he's a man already. He thinks, what do they understand about me and my life? And all he wants to do, he wants to take the strength Allah's given him. He doesn't even realize what's happening. Because all of a sudden, he's got this extra strength. You know, he's bigger, he's tougher, his energy is at the highest levels. No one can run as fast as him. No one can do things, you know, out there as good as him in certain skills he's got. He thinks he knows it all. He looks down on the last generation. He thinks they're oldies. He thinks they're back in the, you know, stuck back in time. And then he thinks he's a man. He thinks, you know, I'm going to show all of them. The strongest physical strength Allah's given me or you is from 12 to about 25. After 25 or after 30, you're going to start seeing a decline in your physical strength. But the mental strength gets to its peak at the age of 40. Allah said in the Holy Quran, حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّ وَبَلَغَ 40 سَنَةً. When the man or a woman get to the most mature age, and the most mature age in terms of thinking is at the age of 40. That's when you are a proper, you fulfilled the age of reason. You fulfilled the age of good understanding. If you think you've reached good understanding before 40, I'm not saying everyone, you have to reach exactly 40 for that. No, please. Some reach a bit earlier, and unfortunately some a bit late. But it's a good average estimation for you to understand. But if you think that you've got it before that, most likely you're not right. Most likely you don't know what you're talking about. Because as you grow older, life brings you more meaning. And you know what you did in your young days, it becomes something silly. Like right now, if I was to ask you, if you're in your 20s, what you did when you was in secondary school, the silly things you did, you're going to laugh over it. Oh, I did that, man. I threw this at the teacher or something. You have a laugh over it. But after you get another 5 years, 6 years, you think it's silly. You think it's silly that, you were young, you just be carried away. And what carried you away? Attention seeking? Friends. That's what carried you away. Just to impress friends, just to show them who you are, what you can do, how daring you can be. That was what was in your head. And you might be denial of this right now. You might be thinking now, he's talking something that I don't accept. But you know what? Most young people, they don't even know the reason why they're doing it. I want you to understand it, brothers and sisters. If you're going to take this from me, please take it from me. This part of the talk, most young people, when they're in that mood, they don't even know the real reason why they're doing it. They don't think about the future of what is coming towards them when they're doing these things. At that moment, they're living in the spur of the moment, and they're just doing it for that moment because they're getting so many of their friends laughing, and they're getting all the attention. They're saying, yes, it, man, him, when he says it, when he says it, that's it. We're all with him because he's the one who's clued on. She's the one that knows what's happening, and you gain the attention. You do it for that reason. But what happens after that phase? So it all goes by. You think it's all silly. You get to a mature age, then you think to yourself, you know what? What have I done? On the day of judgment, my brother, my sister, one of the key questions is, when I gave you your shabab, your age from 12 to 25, what did you do with that age? And without you answering that question, you're not moving from your space. On the day of judgment, when we get there, those youth that made it to the other side by having the age of 12 to 25 towards Allah and His Messenger, or towards a life of deen and religion, those people will be the most happiest on that day. Why? Because they're going to be with the real celebrities. Today, 12 to 25, they look for certain celebrities. And you can tell me you're not looking for celebrities, you are definitely influenced by people. You're either influenced by the music culture, you're influenced by the people, the rap artists, or those who are on the music culture. You're influenced by the people who've made their monies and you want to become rich like them. Quick time, don't do much work and become rich like them. You're either influenced by some person who's a football star out there, or some kind of person who's a celebrity, some film star, some actor, some actors, some stars. You are influenced by them, and that's why you're like this. Or by the least, you've got a crowd in your own society, the way they act, the way they are, you look at them and you want to be like them. You're influenced. You can't say you are not influenced. And when you're influenced by them and they showed you the way, because they walked a certain way, they had all the girls they wanted, you want girls like that as well. They fulfilled their ego, you want to fulfill your ego. They said rude things to people and got away with it. You want to do the same thing and get away with it. What you're doing, brother, what you might be doing, sister, is you are trying to go with the status quo, and you're trying to be a person who is looking up to others and just follow them. On the day of judgment, my friend, whoever you're going to choose as your role model, you will be with them on that day. And that's the scary thing. Because if you chose the right model, you will be with them. On that day of judgment, all the youngsters
who went towards Allah's way and Allah's Messenger's way, they're going to be with Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his company. And the people who follow these stars, they will be with the stars, their own stars, whoever they were. And the hadith in Muslim makes it very clear that there's going to be, each person will have a flagship. There'll be a flagship of people who used to lie a lot, and all the lies will be together. There'll be a flagship of all the people who used to be neglectful, all of them will be together. There'll be a flagship of people who used to spend their money in the wrong way or earn their money in the wrong way. They'll be all together. There'll be a flagship of people who used to go to the masajid frequently. They'll be all together. There'll be a flagship of people who used to, frequently remember Allah. They will all be together. Allah will separate everyone, and the best of them that used to do that act, Allah will make him the Imam. Allah said in the Holy Quran, يَوْمَ نَدْعُ كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. Like murder? Murder? The person who's going to hold the flagship of murder on the Day of Judgment is going to be Qabil, the son of Adam alayhi salam. On that day, he will have, whether he likes it or not, he'll have the flag stuck to him of murderers. And all the murderers will be behind him. He's the first one to commit murder on this earth. So Allah will make him the one that is in charge of, in the leadership of all the murderers on this earth. And they will all be with him. That will be the crowd of murderers. Which crowd are you making yourself? What are you? Because you know what? Your best mate today will not care an ounce about you if the trouble comes. You can already see it. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. If the police come and they're raiding your house because you got drugs, and somehow, one of your friends who had drugs, but that day he never had it in his house. He got rid of it the day before. He kept it somewhere else, or he got rid of it or sold it. When the police come and they raid your house and they find drugs in your house and they're taking you in, do you expect your friend who was dealing with you to get up and come to the police station and say, gentlemen, I was part of it as well. You didn't catch me when you raided my house, but you know what? I sell drugs as well. You think he's going to do that? He's not going to want to know you. He will wipe himself away from you and whatever you've done. He wants to disassociate himself from you. Yes or no, Tommy? Yes. On the day of judgment, what do you think is going to happen when Allah's angels come on the Day of Judgment and they start to take hold of the people who led others astray? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You think your friends are going to stick up for you? You think when Jahannam is in front of our eyes, when Jahannam itself will be wild, Jahannam will be wild, and Jahannam will have to be held by 70,000 reins of 70,000 angels each with about 70,000 reins. They're going to hold Jahannam from pouncing onto the Day of Judgment and swallowing up the people within itself. When Jahannam is going to be in front of my eyes, your eyes, Allah said, وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِمَنْ يَرَى. For everyone who sees, Allah will make the Jahannam become quite close and inflamed. On that day, you think any of your mates today are going to be looking out for you? No way. No way. They'll be your biggest enemies. In fact, your friends that are with you in any crime or vice out there are going to look for every excuse to stitch you up. And I'm not saying, wallahi, I'm not saying this because I'm making this up. I want to scare you from the screen. No, I'm saying your Allah, my Allah has said this in the Holy Quran in several different places. Friends will stitch each other up. Just like if the police found, you and you're going to go down, maybe you got some big time cocaine or whatever it is, or something else that's really now you got bags of it in your house, and you just happen to get caught on the wrong night, because normally you don't keep that stash away. But now you're going to go down for 15, 20 years. And that other guy, he got caught with something. And what will you do? You'll start to say, you'll start to make any excuse you can to try and make it look like it wasn't yours. Or you'll try and make any excuse you can to say that, you thought that, I don't know, your mom gave you some flour and you thought it was flour. You thought he was some plain flour to make some chapatis from or whatever, yeah? You make any excuse you can, or some guy just stored it there, or you'll say to the police, well, prove it, and it's right under your bed. I mean, what are they going to, oh, it was somebody else. You know, you can say what you want, but you've got caught with it. Your mate, when you both of you go through the court, you're not going to have, you're not going to be saying, brother, please, I'm going to make a case that I'll take 25 years on me, you stay back, I'll try and get you out of this. Which friend of yours is going to do that? So if it's not happening in the dunya, how do you expect this thing to happen in the akhirah? On that day, my friends, you know what's going to happen? The one that didn't follow the Prophet ﷺ, he's going to he's going to actually bite in his hand. He'll bite in his own hand. You know why he's going to bite in his hand? Because his hand is speaking against him. His feet are speaking against him. The earth is speaking against him. You know, every crime that you might have done, that earth you're doing it on, they've recorded that. Your feet have recorded that. Your hands and anyone else who's seen recorded that. The only way out of this, my friend, is that you turn around away from this before death comes to you. Because like I said to you, death is not something that is, your belief of death might be 20 years, 30 years, 40 years ahead of you. But the actuality of death could be around the corner. People die for silly reasons these days. Die for absolutely silly reasons. Death could be around. The only thing I want to say to you is that you make a serious tawbah and a sincere way of returning to Allah and telling Allah, I mucked up. Allah will forgive you. See, Allah does not want to take you and punish you for all your deeds. See, this notion of Yallah, I've messed up so bad. When Allah gets hold of me, I'm finished. I'm going to be finished anyway. I might as well just enjoy the rest of it. This notion that you might have in your head, that is kufr. That is wrong disbelief you've got in your head. Allah's not there to kill you and then to slice you and kebab you in Jahannam or whatever. He is more happy that you come to Him while you're still alive and seek forgiveness from Him. That makes Him more happy than you going along in your life. Allah loves you so much that though every single day, every day, you are disobeying Allah, or you might be every other day disobeying Allah, in whichever way you might be doing it, don't forget, the same Allah still feeds you, the same Allah still gives you drink, the same Allah still keeps pains away from your mouth, from your teeth, from your body, from your ligaments. The same Allah cures you, the same Allah makes you have friends and whatever else, financial state. The same Allah does all that for you. Why? Because that Allah loves you 70 times more than your own mother in your own house. I just want to share something with you. We had in my academy, Safar Academy, we just had recently a youngster who passed away. How old was this youngster? This youngster was 13 years old. 13. I used to see him walking every day, every weekend, because we have a weekend market. Every weekend he used to walk in and go back out. 2 brothers used to come. One's a bit younger than him, about 10 or 11, and this one's 13. All of a sudden, this is shock to the whole community. A 13-year-old gets a pain in the stomach and he complains. They go to the GP. GP sends him straight to hospital for an appointment. By the time he's got there and they've tried to diagnose what he's got, he's passed away. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You can imagine the effects on the family. 13! The boy's just turned mature and he's passed away. Then, visit the family and so on. And like I usually do when I visit a family after they've had someone passed away, I usually tell them, I say, make dua to Allah. Oh Allah, show me my relative, my son, my brother, whoever it is. Show me them in my dream, in a good way. So this will happen about maybe 5 weeks back from today. I just got a text this morning. This morning when I woke up, the first thing I saw on my phone was his text message. And in there it was from the mother. And the mother said, I had a dream last night. She was very excited. At Fajr time she sent the message. I saw this dream. And I saw my son in my dream. And I saw him very happy. And I said to him, son, are you okay? He said, I'm completely fine, mom. This is a dream last night, okay? Dream last night. So I'm not giving you some ancient story here. I'm very happy. And don't worry about me, mom. I'm being looked after. Mother said, are you okay? The kid took out two things in front of him. He said, you see this alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha? Yeah? You know the letters of the alphabet? You see alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha? That's how much you love me. But see this surah of the Quran? That's how much Allah loves me. This is last night this woman saw this dream. She contacted another person through to me, what is the interpretation of this dream? And he said it twice. She said again, are you okay? Are you being looked after? I said, I'm fine. I've been looked after. I'm being loved. He said, you see this alif, ba, ta, tha, that's how much you love me. You see this surah of the Quran, that's how much Allah loves me. The interpretation of that dream is what? It's that your mother's love for you, no matter how much it was, is just letters. That's all it is. Letters, random letters. You see a D here, you see a P there, random letters. Random letters don't have any meaning. Do you agree with me? You see an E there, you see a V there, it doesn't mean anything. They're random letters. But when you put words together and you make a sentence, now it's got some true meaning, yes? Yes or no? Come on guys. Yes. Even your name. If your name is, I don't know, Abdul or something, then it's A is separate, is nothing. B is separate, nothing. D, U, L, separate, nothing. But when you put it together, it spells the name. It's got a meaning to it. It shows you what it is. Allah's love compared to a mother's love, which can't be really compared. It's like a single letter to an entire chapter that has so much meaning to it. And he's telling his mother not to worry because that's how much Allah is loving him. Allahu Akbar. My brother, my sister, Allah Azza wa Jal, He is waiting for you to come back to Him. He loves you. He has never deserted you. You've deserted, or I might have deserted Him. I might have deserted Him, but Allah's never deserted me. Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. Don't be like those people who have left Allah, who have deserted Allah, and Allah has deserted them. Don't be like that. In one part Allah says Nasullaha, they've deserted Allah and Allah has left them. But this one Allah says كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ is greater than this. It's not Allah deserted them here in this ayah. It's فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. What does that mean? That means Allah made them forget who they really are. They've got no purpose in life left. The way they're acting like those lions out there, they're acting like their animalistic behaviors with the animals in the jungle. Animals in the jungle have no purpose in life. So they've become like those people, those creatures of God that have no purpose in life. What is the point of you being here in this world when you have no purpose in life? Of course you've got a purpose. You really think, Allah says, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Do you think that I just created you just like that? You're living right now, you're seeing this, you listen to this. Do you think I just created you just like that out of vanity? Out of something that is, out of complete, something that is vain, out of something that has no purpose. Abathan. Abathan means out of a game or a playtime. Do you think I'm mucking around? Do you think I'm just having a playtime, a showtime? Just creating these human beings? Yeah, go on the earth, do what you like, and after that, وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. That you're never going to return back to me? Do you think that is your status? My Allah, brothers and sisters, I want you to understand that Allah loves you so much that today the meal that you're going to have, that meal you're going to have today, Allah has planned that meal several months before we're even having, meaning that Allah obviously has planned it from before even the existence took place. But recently Allah told the angels several months before how to make certain people come together and put certain components together for you to eat today. I want to ask you, brother, sorry, what's you prepared? You said there's food provided. What is prepared for them? What is it? Am I going to give the secret away? Are they going to all walk away now once you tell me?
I don't think there's food provided.
There's no food provided. No, sorry. Oh man, I just spoiled it for you guys. Yeah. But anyway, let's. I'll put pressure on the brother. Yeah. But you know, you go to. Sorry. You know what? I'm mixing it up because I've got to talk tomorrow where the poster's got food provided, and I've just made him, provide the food for all of you. No, guys. On a serious note, you're gonna go home. You're gonna have food provided at home now. Yeah. Your mom is gonna cook for you. Yeah. When you go home, your mother that puts the food on the table, whatever it is, you think about every single component. The meat, if you're going to have meat, that meat has come from an animal that was reared for several years. And Allah made sure that that food is coming to your stomach from that animal. It's several months to the whole process. The vegetables you're going to have, the whole spices are inside there from whichever countries they came from. Allah has made sure that they all come to your plate. How? Subhanallah, from Mexico, you're probably going to get some corn coming. From America, probably some rice coming. And some farmer there has made his rice, he don't know where he's going to. He sends it over, it comes to a big storage place in the UK. They don't know where it's going to go until it comes to your local one. The cash and carry don't know until maybe, even your family buy it or your neighbors buy it. Each one has been planned. And all those ingredients have to come at the right time for you to have the right meal at this, for tonight. When you have that, brothers, tonight, just think that Allah has planned this food for me today, He's going to plan it tomorrow morning. He has not forgotten you. Allah loves me and you more than we love ourselves. Don't forget that. But why does then Allah get upset when we do something wrong? You know why? Because Allah has been so good to us. Allah has been so good to us that when a person having all those gifts that Allah has given, and you eat from Allah's, like Ibrahim ibn Adham said, a wonderful, a person who was so close to Allah. Ibrahim ibn Adham radiallahu anhu, he said, or rahimahullah, he said, if you, the next time you want to disobey Allah, he said, go and eat from a food that Allah has not provided. Go to a land where Allah does not see you, and go and disobey Allah in that place. You can't. We live on Allah's earth. We eat from whatever Allah has provided. There's no way we're going to be someone who's going to move away from the hukm of Allah. Now what is it that Allah wants from us? Allah wants us to be good to ourselves and to others on this earth. That's all Allah has asked for. What does Allah ask for? The prayers every single day that we do, it's not much. It's not much at all. You spend more time on your phone. You spend more time with your friends than the prayer. But you're probably thinking, well, why do I have to pray to Allah? Why should you pray? It's for your own good, because it makes you a different person. It will make you a different human being. It will make you know your purpose in life. Otherwise you'll forget the purpose in life. Why do you have to frequently be good to one another? It's because it's a challenge. Allah is trying to see which one of us is going to do the good actions. Why is that? Because Allah has put us to a test. What comes after that? But Allah has given us certain gifts in the next world that is kept for us, which are beyond reasoning, beyond us even being able to think what Allah has created for us in the next world. What for? So that Allah Azza wa Jal can show us, ourselves, that we have the ability, we all have the ability to disobey Allah. And we have the ability to obey Allah. Allah wants us to show that we can overcome our evil side with our good side. That's what Allah wants us to prove to ourselves, and He can show the angels and any of these other creation that we're the best of creation. We have been created for a purpose, my brothers and my sisters who are listening. And the purpose for you is that while you're here at this moment, think about it. I want you to spend a bit of time thinking about this. Please just spend a few bit of time thinking about this. Is there anyone here who thinks that in the last 5 years, the last 5 years that have gone by, just think of it. So today is what, 2014. Let's just go back to 2009. Is there anyone who feels their life is the same in 2014 just as it was in 2009? Put your hands up. Life is exactly the same. No. Is there anyone who feels that in 2009 your life, the way it was, is exactly the same as the life in 2004? Put your hands up. Nobody. You can go 5 years back, any 5 years back, you will never see your life same ever again. I'm telling you right now, in 2019, it's not very far away, 2019, you're going to be completely different. Your life's going to be completely different. 2024, if you live till then, you will see a complete different life. Why am I saying this to you, brothers and sisters? Because Allah Azza wa Jal has made us intelligent enough to know that the situation we're in right now is not going to stay the same. There are consequences for every single thing. If you're having problems out there and you have got into a life where you are sinning, you've got to understand that there's ways to pull yourself out from there. And one of the greatest ways to pull yourself out of there, out of whichever life you're in, is through the dhikr of Allah. If you don't make your heart melt with the dhikr of Allah, then it will be as hard as a stone and make you do the disobedience that you're in. The only reason why you're doing this disobedience is because you have conditioned yourself with these people around you, the society, the friends, the people you got around you. They every day they're having an effect on you. When you haven't got your friends, or you might be with your friends, your phone, and the things you see on your phone, the internet, the games that you play, all of that is affecting you, and that's what's driving you. You can't see anything out of that. And the more you stay attached to those things, the more you are completely blind to the future and what is coming ahead. You're blind. Brothers, sisters, let's wake up. And the way to wake up is, please, I don't care what situation you're in. If you want to come towards Islam and you want to know the sweetness of this deen and what it is, why people come to the masjid, why people pray, why people are good, if you want to know the sweetness of that, I'm going to ask you to do some dhikr. And that dhikr is that you have to do one thing, which is you have to. And this is what dhikr is. If you want to know what is dhikr, what is the remembrance of Allah? Well, the dhikrullah and the remembrance of Allah is that you have to cut off from your past and you have to cut off from your future. So you cut off from your past and you cut off from your future and you only live in the present. What did I say? Cut off from what? Say, cut off from the past. So your past doesn't exist. Cut off from the future. So your future doesn't exist. And the only thing that exists is the present moment. And in that it's only you and Allah. In that it's only you and Allah. If you can get to that, then you are doing the dhikr of Allah. It will seriously make a massive change to your life if you can continuously do this. You will basically wake up. You will wake up because Allah Azza wa Jal, what has He said? And what has Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said? They have said, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, مَثَلُ الَّذِي يَذْكُرُ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِي لَا يَذْكُرُ اللَّهِ. The example of the one who remembers Allah and the example of the one who doesn't remember Allah is like the example of the living and the dead. كَمَثَلِ الْحَيِّ وَالْمَيِّتِ. You see these guys on the streets and see these people away from Islam, they are living but they're dead. Their body is living, their soul is dead. Their body is living, their soul is dead. They've got no purpose in life left. They don't care about people's feelings. They don't care about the other person. They just want to fill their own stomachs up and get their own monies and their own attention seeking, whatever they're after. It doesn't have any effect on them what you might say to them. You can go there and you could tell them something. If Allah gives hidayah, He gives hidayah. But when you tell them, you can reason with them, and they don't want the same thing to end up with them. They don't want the same thing to end up with them. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once when he was with the Sahaba, this young person, he came up to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A young boy came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we're not saying that these people didn't even exist in his time. He came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Messenger of Allah, he said, give me permission. He said, I want to commit zina. And when he said that, he wants to fornicate. When he said that, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his Sahaba, they were raged by the fact that this person asked such a question. But what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam do? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked. He said, do you have a sister? He said, I have a sister. He said, would you like other people to do that with your sister? He said, no. He said, do you have a mother? He said, I have a mother. He said, would you like other people to do that with your mother? He said, no. He said, well, the other people would not like you to do that with their sister. Other people would not like you to do that with their mother. Other people would not like you to do that with their daughter or with their whoever it is. So he reasoned with him. Most of these guys who are into drugs, who are into girls, who are into this fast life, who are into this life of messing other people's lives up, they would never want anyone to do that with their own brother or their own sister. Yet they do to others. You know why? Because they've turned into the dead. The heart's dead. There's no caring for these other people. Who cares? I don't want it to land on my door, but I don't care if I mess up another few doors. I don't care if I mess up my neighborhood, but I don't want this to end up on my door. This is absolutely sort of animalistic behavior. We're not animals. Allah has made us human beings. Now if you want to get yourself out of this, you need to cut yourself off from your past for a few moments. You sit down, and I'm going to give you this exercise to do. If you want to find peace in your heart, brothers and sisters who are listening, if you want to find peace in your heart, you want to find a way to reconcile with Allah Azza wa Jal, then just take yourself out of all of this for a little while. Whether you do this later on in your living room, whether you do it in the night time in your bedroom, whether you do it in your private moment, please just reach out and listen to me. Just do this to make yourself alive again. The first thing that needs to happen is your heart needs to start becoming alive. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do a demonstration here, because we've got about 9 minutes till the adhan. I'm going to do a demonstration with you of this, what I'm talking about. I'm going to ask you, after I tell you to, a little while I'm going to tell you to close your eyes, because you're going to be able to concentrate better. That's the only reason. I want to ask you to cut off your past, so your past doesn't exist at all. Your future doesn't exist at all. You're only in the present moment here, right now, with Allah. That's it. Just think of you and Allah. That's all I want you to think. And I want you to repeat with me the dhikr and the remembrance of Allah that we do. And when I say the words, La ilaha, when I say La ilaha, I want you to think that nothing matters. You've just got rid of your past and future. La ilaha, nothing matters. And when I say illallah, you're going to imagine that that's it. The only thing that really matters, the only being that really matters is Allah. So I'm going to do this with you. After three, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. When I do that, you have no past, you have no future. And you're just going to think and along with me. And when I do the dhikr, please repeat the dhikr with me. Is that okay? I don't want you to think all this bid'ah stuff, bid'ah, whatever, right? I'm just giving you a demonstration of doing something, right? If you want to listen to about whether it's bid'ah or not, I've got a whole talk on the net there, Salafi versus Sufi and bid'ah. Please look at that. It's about 2-3 hours of a talk. You can go through that and find out what is bid'ah. First, you need to educate yourself what it is or not, right? So I want everybody to join in. Is that agreed, inshallah? For your own benefit. Please close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Repeat with me. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah,
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. Please everybody repeat with me. لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله. I'm going to do a different type of dhikr. I'm going to take you through this whole episode of what is coming up for us in the future. So just follow me, keep your eyes closed, follow me, concentrate and repeat with me. Even when I speak the English, I want you to still say the words of Allah, Allah, because I'm just going to say Allah, Allah. Okay? So I want you to imagine that we're there at the time of death, and death is coming to us, and we know He's coming to us. And I want you to say with me right now, Allah, 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 Allah. Please everybody. Allah, 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 Allah. Everybody together. Allah, 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 Allah. The angel of death comes and it takes your soul. It's taking your soul away. The people around you are crying, and you're watching your own sisters, your own brothers, your own family members, your own, perhaps your mother. They're crying around you. Allah, 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 Allah. They take you to the ghusl khana and then they start washing you and they start bathing you, and your family members are still crying over you, and you can't move a single muscle. Allah, 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 Allah. They're taken to the masjid, they're reading your janazah, and they're now carrying you on their shoulders towards your grave. Allah, 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 Allah. As you approach your grave, you know you're going to be 6 foot down. And there's about 100 or 200 people around that are taking your body from one to another and lowering you into the grave. Allah, 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 Allah. And now they're putting the soil over on top of yourself, and the soil has covered all daylight away from you. Allah, 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 Allah. Now the angels are coming and questioning you. Either the doors are going to open from your feet side to see Jahannam, or from your head side to see Jannah. Your whole life is passing in front of you what you did. Allah, 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 Allah. Nothing matters now. Your friends don't matter. Your family don't matter. Your wealth don't matter. Your clothes don't matter. Your house doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to you is Allah, 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 Allah. Allah is completely dark and nobody's coming to your rescue. Nobody hears you. There's no sound of anything at all. Allah, 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 Allah. On the day of judgment, you now bring your head up and you come and you see all the whole of mankind in front of you. Everyone is around you and everyone's running towards Allah to have their own judgment done. Allah, 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 Allah. Now Allah calls your father and tells him to come in front of him on the Day of Judgment. Allah, 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 Allah. He calls your mother to come in front, and now your mother's being questioned. Allah, 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 Allah. In front of you, you can see your friends from school, from uni, from college, your friends from your life, from young, from old. They're all going to watch you, and they want something of you, your good deeds. And you're now being summoned in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. All the things you did, Allah knows and you know, and you're hoping that Allah forgives you. Allah, 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 Allah. Nothing can happen, no one can help you except Allah, 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 Allah. If you open your eyes, got about a minute left for the adhan, 1 minute left for the adhan. My brothers, my sisters, if you do dhikr at home, whether it's La ilaha illallah, whether it's Allah, Allah, remembering your own death, your grave, your time, the Day of Judgment, your purpose in life, it will wake you up. May Allah Azza wa Jalla give me the right heart to wake up. May Allah give you the right heart to wake up, and let us come to reality. I'm going to ask you last question before we have the adhan. Who felt different after doing that? Put your hands up. Who felt some differences? Jazakumullah khair. If you do it, we had a lot of noise around us as well. But nevertheless, may Allah Azza wa Jalla make you, make me do this in our own spare time and make us wake up to the reality that is coming ahead. Jazakumullah khair once again. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.